Bringing people and communities together on seclosounds.org.
Your listening station.
Still to come on travel news, we find out about the advert that came second in the top 10 most complained adverts during 2014. However, the Advertising Standards Authority said the advert was okay. And we'll also find out about two other travel-based adverts that came in the top 10 for the most complained adverts for last year. And you'll probably never guess what they advertise or what they do. But anyhow, we're speaking to Ian at the minute, Ian Griffiths, finding out about the Cook Islands. What about the accommodation? I wanted to know whether it's just massive resorts once you get there.
It's absolutely the opposite to that. Yeah. We have a couple of large properties, but typically our properties are of around 15 to 25 rooms. Mm-hmm. So we suggest to people if they come into the Cooks, it's one resort with lots of different types of accommodation. So we have everything from simple beach houses all the way through to 4 or 5 star resorts, but they tend to be, as mentioned, a little bit on the smaller side. Mm-hmm. We would never expect people to remain in their resort, so we don't have all-inclusive properties. In fact, we don't really sell half-board. We encourage people to take bed and breakfast, and then we'd encourage them to eat out in maybe the restaurants next door. It's about the island, it's about the destination, rather than any particular hotel.
What is the food like? Is there a national dish?
Yes, there is. There's obviously we're an island-based destination, so ikamata is a fish-based dish. It's actually the fish is marinated in coconut cream and lime juice, so it's raw, but that's what effectively cooks it. Also, we have the traditional underground ovens, the umakais. Umakais, you would put a pig underground, and then you'd be cooking it all day on hot lava rocks, and then bringing it out in the evening for a traditional feast. In terms of kind of a root crop, we have taro that grows abundantly on the island, and it's like a potato, starchy type food, but it also has a huge leaf, which becomes also like a spinach. So you'll find that on most menus as well. Everything else we can import. With the close links we have to New Zealand, you'll always find lamb on a menu, and of course we have some fantastic fishing, so you'll always find fish on the menu.
You can contact us or just keep up to date with travel news at facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show.
This is Seclo Sounds, your community radio station. If you'd like to volunteer some of your time and skills with Seclo Sounds, send an email to volunteers@seclosounds.org and let us know how you would like to be involved. MK Flyers Online, the fast and simple way to find any kind of business or service locally. Find us at mkflyersonline.co.uk or download the MK Flyers mobile app from your app store. MK Flyers Online proudly supports Seclo Sounds, community radio for Milton Keynes.
The John Guinn Travel Show. Checking it out before you check in on seclosounds.org. Don't forget, travel news is coming before the end of the show. But at the moment, we're reaching the conclusion now with my conversation with Ian Griffiths. We're talking about the Cook Islands. We've talked about what you can see and do above the water, but we haven't talked about what you can see under the water. And Ian's going to explain all about that right now.
Okay, so you've been to church, you've tried the restaurants, you've taken the driving test, you've been around the island on the bus. What else is there to see and do?
We've not explored underwater yet, so we have a fantastic coral reef. We don't have a lot of shipping activity in the Cooks, so we have an amazing waters around the islands. Within the reef, you have fantastic snorkeling. We have areas called rauis. Rauis are protected from fishermen, and the fish seem to know this, so you can snorkel from the shore and just see the most amazing reef fish so easily. If you want to go deeper, go diving, we can take you to the inlets on the reef, and you then get different nutrients flowing in and out of the lagoon. And so great diving. You'll often see turtles, you'll often see sharks on those dives as well. just outside the reef from July to September, we get the humpback whales coming through. So they will be, you can sit on the shore, you can have a beer or a glass of wine in your hand watching the whales breach, and that's quite a pleasant way to do it as well. Polynesians were traditional seafarers, so again, that's under the water, but go out canoe, go out on a glass bottom boat. The water is the life down there.
Just imagining sitting on the beach watching the whales now.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's absolutely incredible.
Another reason why this place is on my bucket list, which is getting ever so longer.
Yeah, it can move up your bucket list though.
Yeah, I think I'll have to. Are there any big annual events amongst the islands?
We do. We have a Vaca Eva is one of our big events. We have takes place in November, and that's using the traditional canoes, a race around Rarotonga. So that's a 32-kilometre rowing race, and then we take that up to Aitutaki within the lagoon, and we do Moto to Moto. Moto is a small island in the Cooks, and again that's 32 kilometres from island to island within the Aitutaki lagoon. So we have about 70 teams coming from all over the world for that. Other events, actually we're bringing them up to the UK this month. We have the Rugby League, and Cook Islands have a very good team in the Rugby League World Cup, which kicks off on the 26th of October. So we have, and then other sporting activities. We have the Round Raro Road Race, which is quite a mouthful to say, but that's a 32-kilometre race. You can either run it or walk it. We're quite flexible in what you do. So so we have quite a lot of activities going on. On the 5th of December this year, we'll have the Queen's Baton for the Commonwealth Games coming through Rarotonga as well.
I'm just imagining walking around on that road race now. It'd definitely be a walk.
Yeah, it should take about 6 to 8 hours, depending on how fast you walk.
8 to 9 then.
Yeah, okay.
I once worked out that it was cheaper to go to the Cook Islands and get married and also fly out your favourite photographer than it is to get married in the UK. How easy is it to plan a wedding over there?
Very easy. The paperwork is straightforward. It's a legal wedding when you come back to the UK, so that's all important. So if you hadn't planned a wedding and you arrive on a Monday morning in Rarotonga and you fall in love with your partner even more than you were before you left the UK, realistically you could get married by the Wednesday. We just need 2 full working days to fill out the formalities, do the paperwork, organise the ceremony. Photographers, we have fantastic photographers on the island, so you could be married by Wednesday lunchtime. If you do the paperwork ahead, you could actually arrive on a Monday morning and you could be married by Monday lunchtime if you really wanted to. So it's very straightforward. We're not a production line. We don't have hundreds and hundreds of weddings a year, let alone a week or a day. So when you do get married, you will be the only people getting married on that beach, probably that for about 3 or 4 days at a time.
Oh, that sounds nice. I have been places where you see them one after the other and it just doesn't seem right.
No, and the beauty of the Cooks, we can even have, you can get married on boats. We have islands you can get married on, and you can actually stay on a desert island overnight on your own. So you literally get married, the layman will leave, and then you're just the couple remaining there until the following day.
Some couples I know, perhaps I should have done that bit first to see whether they want to go ahead or not.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
I'm guessing it's mainly a stopover destination, but if you take that away from it, what would be the ideal length of time to spend there?
We're seeing the average British client now is spending between 4.5 and 5.5 days in Rarotonga. We do get a lot of people coming for 10 days, and they would split that equally between Rarotonga and Aitutaki, possibly including a third island if that's what their interest is. But you could easily spend 3 or 4 days in Rarotonga and a couple of days in Aitutaki, so a 5 to 6 night stay work nicely. As you said, we do have a lot of stopover traffic, so you can then continue your holiday over in Auckland. We have twice daily flights to Auckland. Or alternatively, you could spend time in the west coast of America and then just do a beach add-on with us and have a week with us. That would be a nice way to finish your tour of the US as well.
Yeah, nice week relaxing.
Absolutely.
Given the location is so far away, is it easy to DIY book, or are you better off going through organised tour operators and travel agents?
Certainly here in the UK, the tour operators specialising in Australasia understand the destination, understand the flight, so it makes it easier. But saying that, a lot of people like to travel independently. They like to change their plans at last minute. So with flights now easily booked online, we have two airlines coming in, Air New Zealand and Virgin Australia. So both of them have competitive fares online. Likewise, you can then book hotel accommodation directly with the hotels or on hotel-only websites. So it is quite straightforward. The distances are involved. Certainly Rarotonga, the furthest place from the airport, is 15-minute drive. So, you're not going to get to arrive in a place and find you're stuck. Mm-hmm. The only requirement is, as mentioned earlier, is you do need to show accommodation on arrival, that you have something booked. And that's important because, for example, this month we're full as a group of islands. Accommodation is really at a premium.
Full, something you don't hear very often.
We're frustratingly full because we have accommodation, but it's often not on the right islands at the moment.
Seklo Sounds is based at the Old Rectory, the home of our studio partner Interaction MK. They've been bringing arts to life in Milton Keynes for over 35 years. They use the arts to improve the life chances of disabled people and others in challenging circumstances through shared creative activity. These programs help participants to develop creative, personal and social skills. You can visit them at www.interactionmk.org.uk.
Step into the spotlight with me, Lucy, every Wednesday between 6 and 7 p.m. on Seklo Sounds. I'll have new music, the latest entertainment news and interviews with local bands. If you're in a band or if you have music that you think I should be playing, I'd love to hear from you. Email me, lucy@seklosounds.org, and join me every Wednesday from 6 till 7 for Spotlight on Seklo Sounds.
You can contact us or just keep up to date with travel news at facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. And now, travel news. As I mentioned in last week's show, I've been doing a week's work experience at a travel trade magazine on the news desk. So that's quite handy because I've got one or two stories to share with you this week, which I've already written. Although unfortunately the ones I wrote were reworked before they were published and I didn't get a job. So perhaps they've been listening to the show and they're a good judge of character, you never know. But anyway, the first story is ASA, Advertising Standards Authority, clears Booking.com. The ASA investigated 4 issues from the Booking.com Booking.yeah campaign, all of which were not upheld. The ASA had received 2,345 complaints from viewers of the recent ads from the online accommodation supplier. That's complaints from this year and last year. The ad, which was played in cinemas as well as appeared on TV, featured scenes of travellers arriving at their holiday destinations, with a voiceover describing their feelings. One voiceover line was Planet Earth's #1 accommodation site, Booking.com, Booking.yeah. And at the end, the voiceover said, Booking.yeah. The majority of the complainants believed that the word booking had been substituted in place of a swear word and felt that the ads were offensive. In response, Booking.com stated the purpose of the ad was to reinforce brand recognition and association in the respect to the word booking, as both a company name and a website URL, website address. Consequently, the word was repeated throughout the ad. In its judgment, the ASA said it understood the repetition of the word booking was intended to raise awareness of the Booking.com brand and had used the wordplay in a comical way to express the message. If you actually go onto the ASA website, they used the word what people believed that Booking.com were subject